Hey guys, Mr. Dury here. We're going to try to make sense of this variables and auto straightening code so that everyone can do the virtual world challenge and the real world challenge with some success. So this is that file that I gave you here. The first thing you want to do is if you haven't already done this, you're going to put your last name in here, put mine in here, and put it in my Vex folder. Oop, not in Thomas's, but I got to put it in my Vex folder. All right, I started the process of entering in these variables. I'm going to pause this video and finish entering those in. They're going to come right at the start of your program, right after this bracket here. We're going to put in our variables. Okay, I have my variables in here now, but I have not applied them anywhere to the program. All I did is told the program that these are variables that I might want to use. So in order to actually make use of these, I need to take the word normal speed and put it where I want normal speed. So next I'm going to go in wherever there's a 63, I'm going to replace that, and wherever there's a 50, I'm going to replace it with the slow speed. Before I jump ahead and do that though, a lot of people, I'm going to hit compile program and you see that there's an error here. All right, let's take a look at what that says. I like to check these things out before we go too far ahead to make sure that we're not getting ourselves into trouble. So I believe it's because I am not using these yet. Oh, nope, I forgot. Perfect. I forgot to put the semicolon after the words here. So this is where the simplest of mistakes in coding can get you into trouble. So what I did is I just reviewed what was on my sample, the instructions, and I looked at mine and I looked for errors and I could see that I was missing that colon. So now when I compile that, there's no errors. I like to hit the compile button often so I can identify my mistakes early on before I get into too much trouble. I'm now going to take, and I don't like to type, so I'm going to copy the word normal speed, and I'm just going to go anywhere where there's a 63 and paste that in. Just be careful that you don't delete a character that you need, right? There might be something important in here that when you're copying and pasting, you can get yourself in trouble. For example, that negative symbol right there is important. So I can enter a negative normal speed just as well as a positive normal speed. I'm going to pause it and do the same thing with my slow speed. Okay, for all intent and purposes here, we haven't really changed our program at all. All we did was replace these numbers with these words throughout the whole program. So as I'm looking at my code here, let's take a look and see what this code is doing. So I'm going to compile the program. I'm going to download it to the virtual world, log on as a guest, and see what this thing does. And I'm going to hit play. So there's a 2-second pause. It's going straight. It's looking at the encoders, and it's turning. So that's all I've done so far. Let's see what happens if I change the values of these and re-download them. So I'm going to go here to where it says normal speed, and I want my normal speed to be 110. And I want my slow speed to be 100. I'm going to compile the program, download it, rewind this, and see what happens. Waits 2 seconds, and now it's moving much faster than it was last time. But my turns are still good, and my distance is still good because my encoder values are good. Now I would argue that this robot needs to go a little further. So where do I change that? Well, this bit of code right here is responsible for the going straight. Everywhere after the wait 2 seconds, all the way down to this bracket, all of this is making the robot go straight, and it's going straight until the left encoder gets to this value. I'm going to bump it up to 1500. Compile it, download it to the robot, rewind it, and let's see how far it goes now. Notice I've come a little further. That looks better to me. Now I want to finish this Labyrinth challenge, so before I do that I need to make sure I totally understand what's going on in this code. So this code right here, all of this is what needs to happen every time I set a new while loop, because I need to start from 0 with my encoders. So I want to make sure I set them both to 0. This is saying keep doing all of this stuff until that encoder gets to that value. So it's if the left encoder is greater than the right encoder, then we're going to make the left motor go slower. If the right encoder is greater than the left encoder, then we're going to make the left motor go slower. If they're both the same, then we're going to keep them the same, which is going to make it go straight. So all the way down to here, all of this, starting from here, all of this is my go forward and go straight code. So I need to go forward and go straight again. So I'm going to copy all of that, and I'm going to sneak it right in here. And it's important that I know where I put it, because right here is after my turn but before the end of my program. And I'm going to put a return in there and then paste it in, and now I've got my second go straight. So this up here, all of this, this is my turn up here, because I can tell it's my turn because I've got my negative value here, and this is my go straight, second go straight, right? So I might even say that, second move forward, right? So I know where I am, right? I might even come down here and say this is the end of my second move forward. This way there's no question as to what I'm doing here. Wish I was a better typer. All right, so so this, and remember that anything after the 2 forward slashes that's in green, the code doesn't see. So that's whatever I write there is not going to impact what the robot's doing. So right now, I'm going to go forward for the same distance. I have no idea if that's what I want. So I can compile this program and download it to the robot. Let's take a little rewind and see what happens. Okay, I think I need to go a little bit further before I make my next turn. So on my second move forward, I need to up this value even more. All right. And now I need to also put another turn in. So remember that from here to here is so this is the end of my first turn. Right? And this is the start of my first turn. Whoops. Boy. Okay. So I set my encoders to 0. I look at my right encoder, and if my right encoder is less than this value, then turn the right motor on forward and turn the left motor on in reverse. So I want to copy all this because I want another turn now. Problem is I don't want a right-hand turn, so I'm going to put an enter in here, and I'm going to change my code, and I'm going to say the start of second turn, right? And the end of second turn. This way I'm not losing track of where my code is. where I am in the code. All right, but right now I'm turning left and I need to turn right. So I don't want to look at my right encoder. I want to look at my left encoder. And I don't want my right motor to go forward. I want my right motor to go reverse, and I want my left motor to go forward. Right? So negative normal speed, and let's see what happens. Compile that. Download to the robot. Let's rewind it. Okay, first go straight. Turn, second go straight, and look at that. Looks like I need to go further a little bit. I'm going to end this video here, but I'm hoping that you see the attention to detail that I'm adding here to make sure that you fully understand what each of these are doing. You may even want to write that in here too, right? The start of the first go straight. Okay? Put your code in there so I know that you know what's going on.